With the NBA season fast approaching, there's no better way to add on to that anticipation by making a top 10 list at each position. Today, I'll be talking about the top 10 shooting guards. And remember, this is my opinion / prediction based on who I think will be the top 10 shooting guards come next season. So first, let's just get into how my thinking of ranking them criteria. First, I'm going based off of overall talent, the players' on-court reliability, their possible liabilities, their production relative to their position, athleticism, two-way play, and their on-ball, off-ball movement. Number 2, season success, the improvements they make, expectations, age, their contributions to winning, and any accolades they could get this season. 3, role / playstyle, basically the load they have, the importance to that team, and the reliance that offense may have on them. And number 4, reputation / mentality, pretty straightforward, their work ethic, team chemistry, leadership, discipline, hustle, confidence, and decision making. So let's not waste any time and get to my number 10 at shooting guard, CJ McCollum. I believe he is a pretty reliable scorer. However, he does take very few shots from the line. But he is number 2 in field goal makes from the mid-range as a guard. He contributes well to his Blazers offense. He's a second option, but I can't really see any real improvements. He is 29 years old, so he's at the end of his peak. And once again, he's also not that great of a defender, like not at all. He gets attacked on mismatches sometimes, but I wouldn't say that's too big of a deal. He's not a guy you see as a first option, more of a second option anyway. He's a decent shot creator and floor spacer next to Damian Lillard. So though he's not relied on, he's still a major part to that offense. And as far as reputation / mentality, he has a good reputation among his teammates, and he plays within the offense, great team player, but nothing stand out. Number 9, I have Marcus Smart. I know what you guys are saying. List, you have Marcus Smart above CJ McCollum, and yes I do. Will I change it? No. I don't think I will, because Marcus Smart is one of the better defenders in the league. Last year, he's all defensive. He's impressive on the offensive end relative to his role within the actual offense. Very confident in his shot and a decent floor spacer. Can't see too many improvements other than a small increase in offensive production, but he is pretty young. He's 26 years old, and he has great weight for that side of the ball. He's able to defend. He's able to defend players that you really wouldn't think he would be able to. And other than being an elite defender, he's able to take charges, really help the team, and brings a lot of energy to that end. A fierce competitor, and is really good as a team's third option, or just a great role player who plays with the energy of a superstar. And that's just a really very rare thing and a very good thing. Number 8, I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He is a great young talent, decent slasher with some shot creating ability, great size and length. However, he doesn't have that much weight, and he could be targeted on mismatches or targeted by physical slashers and paint scorers like DeMar, Jimmy, or LeBron James. But he uses his vertical well to guard rebounds. He's 13th in rebounding amongst all guards, so pretty good at that. The team's not going to win that much, but that's not really the big thing. The thing that I want to look for is what he does now that he has to step up as the team's first option. Does he improve as a facilitator? He's a decent ball handler, but not that great as an actual playmaker or really as a passer. So if he really wants to improve, he has to improve as a passer and playmaker first. And then we also have to see his ability to draw defenses to really evaluate his ability as an overall facilitator. However, he will be the first option for this team, possibly the lead perimeter defender. And I believe his production on offensive end will go up, and he will be heavily relied on in this OKC system come next year. He's really young, so it's hard to really evaluate his overall work ethic, mentality, and whatnot. But he is vocal in accepting the challenge as being this team leader and first option, so that's always a good sign. Number 7, DeMar DeRozan. How the mighty have fallen. I know a lot of Raptors and DeMar DeRozan fans are going to be hit like Nate Robinson after hearing this. I'm sorry, but he is 31 years old, and I do not see that many improvements. He is still the best mid-range shooter in the league. He was first in field goal makes amongst all guards. However, that's still not enough. He's a decent rebounder, better as a facilitator, one of the better finishers. Within the top 15, he was third in field goal percentage with restricted area shots at 70% field goal percentage. However, I don't see the Spurs making the playoffs. He's going to contribute to winning. He's going to raise that team's floor, but just not enough. And personally, to me, his age mixed with the fact that I don't see any improvements and the fact that it's unlikely he'll make an all-star selection or all-star appearance is going to hurt him. So even though I believe he's a great leader, it's just not enough to put him any further to me from 7th. But number 6, I have Zach LaVine. And no, that does not mean just because he's in the top 6 Bulls fans that you guys are somehow going to go to the finals. I'm sorry to lose your Bulls fans, but your team's actually not that much better. And the East overall is much better, so you're most likely going to miss the playoffs again. So sorry to burst your bubble, ain't gonna happen. But Zach LaVine takes advantage of his athleticism. He's an explosive scorer, slasher, a great three-point shooter as well. He was 13th in three-point makes amongst all guards. He was also 3rd in field goal makes in the restricted area. However, not a great defender, easily a liability on that end, gets blown by easily, not that physical. And yeah, just not a great defender overall. He contributes to his team. He tries his best. He's the first option, great ball handler, great three-point shooter. And he is vocal with management and trying to call out problems to better the team. But as of it stands now, he is number 6, right outside the top 5. But he has potential to be one of the better scorers and facilitators. He just needs to improve. That's pretty much it. Also, I don't see him being an all-star, so that's it too. Number 5, I have Jaylen Brown. Great scorer for his role and position. He has great size, great length, and amazing man-to-man defender. Can hold his own against bigger fours. One of the better rebounders at his position. 9th amongst all guards. And a great spot-up shooter. And generally just a great spot-up guy. Drives as soon as he gets the ball. But he does need to get better at drawing fouls. That's something. I can see this year him making some improvements on both the offensive and defensive end. Offensively, I can see him upping his production, and defensively, I can see him being more of a disruptor on that end as well. I could definitely see him going up to that second option definitively, and I could really see him making an all-defensive team as well, contributing to both ends of the ball. And mentality-wise, nothing really stand out, but he seems to have a great locker room presence. Nothing ever bad is said about him. And though his assist numbers are pretty low, he is pretty unselfish with his touches and generally a great team player. Number 4, I have Bradley Beal. He's one of the best scorers in the league, number 2 in points per game amongst all guards last year, and generally reliable for scoring and an okay facilitator, but that is not enough to get him any further, because wow, his defense is terrible. It's not great. And to add on top of that, he's at the prime of his career, so I don't see him improving that much more. He's like 28 years old, and you gotta remember he's with Westbrook now, so even though Westbrook is backing him up, his production probably goes down, and I'm doubtful of him making an all-star or all-NBA. Maybe he can make an all-star, but once again, a little unlikely. There's still a chance of him being this team's first option with his scoring ability, but outside of that, can't really see much. As far as his actual leadership with him playing with Westbrook, I don't know how that's going to happen, but he definitely has said that Westbrook is the player they need for a shift in the energy that the team has and to bring a culture of winning basketball. So hey, that's good to know. Number 3, I have Devin Booker. An amazing scorer once again. Felt like he's a great scorer. Probably the most versatile, best well-rounded scorer on this list. Great mid-range shot. I'm pretty sure he was 8th amongst all guards and points per game for the mid-range. Great spacing the floor, one of the better three-point shooters. Even though he's not insanely athletic, his overall ability to move around the court and his handle is enough to get him to the rim enough times. I still see him adding more to his game. He's really young. I'm pretty sure he's only 24 years old. And with CP3, he's going to have some even better looks on the perimeter. I can see him possibly getting all NBA 3rd. And yeah, that's pretty much it. He's going to contribute a lot to winning. He's definitely going to make that team better. He's incredibly confident in his shot. He's a great locker room presence and a great decision maker at such a young age. So not too much negative to say other than defense. Once again, defense, not that great, but not a liability. So, hey, I'll take it. Number 2, I have Donovan Mitchell. He was already in contention to getting up into this spot, but after last year's playoffs, he's definitely secured it. He was one of the better scorers last year. He was 10th amongst all guards in points per game during regular season, and obviously he led the playoffs in points per game. That scoring exposure really showed his upper potential, his ability to to elevate his team and whatnot. Great shooting guard, and even though he's undersized, he's still a good rebounder. Grabs, I'm pretty sure, 4.4 rebounds per game. Really young, can see some great improvements for him. He's very confident in shot, can definitely see him making an all-NBA third team. He's the lead ball handler, pick and roll ball handler, scorer, slasher for that team. He generally has a pretty big load on that Jazz team, seeing that he is the guy with the ball most of the time, so he doesn't get to move off ball as much as you would like him. But hey, when he doesn't need to do a catch and shoot shot, he does it. He's great at it. So hey, there it is. Last year's playoffs, you can definitely tell that he scored out of necessity. He's a great young leader, very confident in shot, and plays with energy, especially on that defensive end. Though he does have the size, he definitely jumps on bad passes and really plays with hustle on that end, so he's not too much of a liability. However, you can definitely see that he has a rough time throughout the regular season from time to time, and he does need to improve on his decision making down into the clutch. And number one, I still have James Harden. Yes, he's still the best. He's probably overall talent-wise, rebounding, facilitating, scoring, the most well-rounded, still the best scorer, one of the greatest scorers of all time. He's an amazing playmaker, decent passer, overall, once again, a good facilitator. Big problem still defense. He definitely does use his weight and strength to guard in the post, oddly enough, but his actual perimeter defense is still not that great. But I guess he's not a liability anymore. I guess he's average, but whatever. It's better than what it used to be. So hey, there we go. You can say that. The best basketball to me of James Harden is definitely, I guess, passed him up. He's definitely older, far past his prime in my eyes. But he still is going to be the first option, primary ball handler. That is if he stays with the Rockets. And even if he goes to another team, I still think he'll be the primary ball handler, first option, offensive focal point. Usually has a high load. Reputation-wise, he's very confident in his play. However, his leadership is kind of questionable. He doesn't always work out with his co-stars. Actually, he doesn't work out with many of his co-stars. He asks for someone, then immediately gets rid of them after a couple years. So, never know with James Harden. But he's still the best player at his position, still relatively producing at a high level, and I don't see that changing anytime in the future. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And until next time, remember, greatness has no limits.